and then like this with the steak. Do you ever do one of these things? And like catch the steak like that? If I pull that off, will you give me like $20?
You ever do like one of these?
To flip the steak?
And then you go whoosh.
And it has like the sizzle too at the end.
And it goes You ever do one of these? Like a turbulence? Well, it's like
a... Are you oil?
Yeah. Alright.
Wait, is this the oil?
That is the oil. Hey guys, welcome back to SmokeMMA. And in case you haven't figured it out yet, we're making steaks today and we're breaking down UFC 290. And obviously, I'm joined with the one and only Elijah Larigio.
What's up, guys?
So, the steaks we're making today, we're going to be making some New York strip steaks. Yeah. Not no beef tenderloin bullshit. We're making some New York strips. So let's get started. Make sure you hold your microphone.
I don't think that's on.
Alright, so let's get right into it. Is on.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Alright, so let's get right on into UFC 290. The very first early prelim. We're just going to spitfire through the early prelims and then like go in depth on like the main card.
I got you.
So the very first early prelim. Tetsuro Taira versus Edgar Cheriz. I definitely butchered the shit out of that.
Yeah, I don't know any of these, but I'm going to go with my main man, Edgar.
I'm rolling with Tetsuro Taira. Rolling 2 back-to-back first-round submissions. And he's crazy. Undefeated, 13-0 going into this fight. He was supposed to fight last month, but his opponent missed weight pretty badly. So I'm rolling with Taira for sure. Next up, we got Camuela Kirk versus Esteban Robovics. Who you rolling with?
Let me see this one. There's lightweight bout.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with Kirk on this one.
I like his name better. I'm going with Kirk. Then we got...
Same reason I would
like Kurt Cobain. But like Kirk. Alright, next up we got Shannon Ross versus Jesus Santos Aguero.
You know Jesus is winning that one.
Yeah, his name is Jesus.
Yeah.
He should win that one. Alright, next. Oh, I'm excited for this one. I love Cameron Simon. And he's going against Terrence Mitchell. So, I don't know if you knew this, but you know who he was supposed to fight originally?
Yeah.
He was supposed to be fighting Christian Rodriguez.
Was he?
Yeah. You know who Christian Rodriguez is?
I do know who Christian Rodriguez is.
Who is he?
It's Christian Rodriguez.
He fought Raul Rosas Jr. He's the guy who beat Raul Rosas Jr.
The one who, what's it called? He was just one that won by decision, right?
Yeah, he like beat the shit out of him.
No, but yeah, I remember because Raul Rosas got freaking gassed out in the first round. He wasn't even trying. Like, he just spammed takedowns like freaking Merab does.
Yeah, man, Merab, he's so good, but he's so hard to like.
I'm conflicted because his personality, I actually think he's hilarious.
He really is.
But the way he fights is just so freaking boring.
But yeah, no, on this one I'm rocking with Cameron Simon. Like, how can he trains with Dricus Duplessis, who's also fighting on the card. And like, how can you just? I love Cameron Simon, but it's really funny. Every single UFC fight he's been in, he's lost a point.
Why?
Like from either like a low blow, eye poke.
Bro.
Like, none of it's intentional, but it's so funny. Every single... Oh, I put way too much salt in my hand. But yeah, no. Like, you gotta roll with Cameron Simon. You gotta fucking love that guy. Where'd my towel go? Alright, next up, we got the featured early prelim between Vitor Petrino and Marcin Perchino, light heavyweight. You know, Vitor's undefeated, so I'm gonna have to be rolling with Vitor. Just, huh? Yeah. So he's undefeated. You gotta be rolling with him. You gotta keep that streak going. Big card, big spot, sorta. So obviously, I'm rolling with Vitor in this one. What about you? Who you got?
Like I said, I don't know any of these guys either, so I'm gonna just go with your vote.
Alrighty. Now we're moving on to the prelims. And so opening up the prelims, we got Alonzo Menifield versus Jimmy Crute 2.
Oh, this is 2.
Yeah, so their first fight was at UFC 284. Main card, Volk versus Islam.
Was that the one that ended in a draw?
Yeah.
I wanted to see that fight because that was my favorite fight besides the Volk one that night.
That was such a good fight.
That was a banger of a fight.
I low-key think Alonzo Menifield got robbed, though.
I disagree. I thought that was very hard to score.
No, I say robbed very loosely. I thought he won, but I could see like the argument for the draw. It was such a good fight.
Such a banger.
That was such a good fight.
Yeah, I actually did want to see that rematch. Once you said 2, I thought it was that one, but I just wasn't sure.
Yeah, no. Then, so who are you rolling with, though, in the rematch?
I'm going to go with Menifield.
Yeah, he was doing really good in that
He was
first
doing really
fight.
good.
I think I'm going to have to roll with Menifield, too. He's just so good. But that's going to be, I think that might be fight of the night. That's going to be one of the fights of the night.
For sure. The fact that that one's on the prelim this time.
Opening up the prelims.
I think that should be a main card fight because of how much of a banger it's going to be.
All right, next up we got Yasmin Haruge versus Denise Gomez. I'm rolling with Yasmin in this one. She's undefeated, 10-0. She had a great UFC debut. I think she's going to keep the momentum rolling into this next fight. What about you? Who you got, Elijah?
I'm going to go with Denise here.
You're pulling for the upset?
I'm pulling for the upset. You know, she needs some love too.
Speaking of getting some love, what do you think of Paulo Costa and Tracy Cortez?
Paulo Costa's a G, man. It's fucking awesome.
That shit was so funny. Bro, wait, but did you see how Brian Ortega responded?
No, how did he respond?
He goes, everyone's saying I fumbled. It's not a fumble when you purposely throw the ball away. Da-da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, nah, dude, you fumbled.
Here's a little steak trick to teach you really quick if you want to see if your pan comes up. Before you do anything. See how it's fizzling like that?
Mm-hmm.
You're just good to go.
So, oh yeah, this can get really loud, by the way, so make sure you hold the mic up when you talk. But, yeah, no, that shit's so... Paulo Costa's so funny, man. Like, how can you not love him? So wait, you're putting the oil first?
Yeah.
Interesting choice. I'm rocking with the butter first.
See why that's going to be wrong in a second. Yeah. Oh, you have tongs, right?
What?
You have tongs?
Yeah. Then moving on. Oh my god, this one we got a lot to talk about.
Robbie Lawler.
No, it's Jack Dela.
Oh, yeah. Who's he fighting?
That's the thing. No one knows. Because fucking Sean Brady... You want the bigger pan or...
No.
Because Sean Brady pulled out because he's injured. So now, there's no one to fight Jack Dela, but I think right now the front runners are Chris Curtis. And, the front runners are Chris Curtis and,
Gotta render down the fat right now.
Joaquin Buckley. And I think both of those are great matchups.
Joaquin Buckley would be great. See him fight again?
Didn't know him. Remember, he was in my, he was in the video we did, he was in the video we did with the 2023 breakout fighters and all that. Or 2022. But yeah. Now, the big show. Robbie Lawler's retirement fight against Nico Price. Yeah. Here. You can go ahead and go first. I know you love Robbie Lawler.
Yeah, so I'm going Nico Price with the win here. I just think Robbie Lawler's too old and just doesn't have it in it anymore. I think he was a phenomenal fighter, easy Hall of Famer, but I think his just time has passed and he needs to hang up the gloves.
I mean, he is hanging up the gloves. This is his last fight.
I don't think he's gonna win though.
Man, I'm a disagree. Robbie Lawler looked fucking phenomenal.
And then he got knocked out.
In that first round against Brian.
Yeah, first round, and then he got knocked out.
But that's the thing. He still won the first round so convincingly that everyone I was watching it with was like, how...
Me included.
No, I wasn't with you.
No, I know, but I think the same thing. It's like, oh, this is going to be an easy Robbie Lawler victory.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, he loses. Like, he looked so good in that fight, and then just the tide changed. But I think Robbie Lawler is going to be like one of the few fighters to like hang up the gloves on a win. Because like, who else can you say that in the retirement fight won? Jose Aldo lost his retirement fight.
But that was against Merab because he was just doing stupid shit, though.
Okay,
it's not freaking fair.
Jose Aldo lost his retirement fight. Shogun lost his retirement fight. Donald Cerrone lost his retirement fight. Jorge lost his retirement fight. Every fighter recently, it's like a trend of they lose their retirement fight.
Excuse me.
But anyway, whatever. Now, the main card. Even though I don't agree with this opening up the main card over Robbie Lawler, Bo Nickel versus Tresean Gore.
This one's going to be a fun one. I'm going to go with Bo Nickel here.
You think a decision, submission, or knockout, though?
I think it's going to be a second round submission.
I think I'm going to have to roll with Bo Nickel, too. But after Tresean Gore's last fight, you really can't count him out. With that nasty guillotine, that he had over Josh Friend. Josh Friend ain't great. That's a given. But that knockout was just nuts. Oh, it's getting steamy in here. No, that knockout he had, or that submission he had, that was just insane. Oh, look at that crust.
Good crust.
And it's like, he's such a good fighter too, Tresean Gore. And he's had such a hard time getting to where he's gotten. Like, it's hard to root against him. Like, I love Tresean Gore. But I think he is going to pose problems for Bo Nickel that he can't get him out there in the first round. And I think that might break Bo Nickel, or it's going to show what he's made of. Bo Nickel with his collegiate wrestling, though, I think he's going to be able to pull this one through. So I'm going to agree, second round, probably submission. All right, moving on. We got Jalen Turner versus Dan Hooker.
This one's going to be fight of the night. I think this one's the most even matched fight there is. Where honestly, I think it could go either way. You know, Dan Hooker obviously looking phenomenal in his last fight.
Yeah, but against Claudio Puelles. Or fucking whatever his name is. But no, keep going.
You know, obviously, Jalen Turner's a freaking dog. Who was his last fight?
His last fight was against Mateus Gamrot, UFC 285.
Yeah.
He lost, but
like, he lost to Gamrot.
And it was close.
Yeah.
What's it called? And think of that. Like, he had to go through such, like, a big opponent change. Like, imagine preparing for the striking of Dan Hooker and then ending up fighting the wrestler Mateus Gamrot.
Yeah.
Oh, I need more butter.
Your butter's burning.
It's not burning. You're burning. I would sear often. Look at you. Oh, I dropped my spoon. Your steak just looks sad.
I haven't seen the final product yet.
So who are you going with? Dan Hooker, Jalen Turner?
I'm gonna go with Jalen Turner.
I got to rock with Jalen Turner.
I think his striking is gonna cause some problems for Dan Hooker, and I think we've seen that his wrestling is better than Hooker's. I sparring Dan Hooker. Okay.
I think like when you talk about mythical fighters, if you're not bringing up sparring Dan Hooker, there's something wrong with you.
And we saw freaking sparring Sean Strickland yesterday.
Oh yeah, Sean Strickland looked like a world beater out there. But honestly, keep in mind, he was fighting Abu Smagomedov with one fight in the UFC.
That is true. I think they pushed fighters way too soon now.
And I think we're going to see that again with Ikram Aliskerov and Paulo Costa.
I agree. I mean, obviously he's had that fight with Hamzat, which they're trying to build up. For the winner of this, I think it's Hamzat.
Hamzat is in a really odd position because he can go anywhere.
He can fight Usman. He can fight the winner of that Costa. This is starting to look really good.
Look at mine. This might be one of the best steaks I've ever made. Nah, honestly, I think that we might end up seeing Jared Cannonier versus Hamzat Chimaev.
Really?
I think that fight might be next, honestly. But anyway, moving on. We got the featured fight of the night. Robert Whittaker, Dricus Du Plessis.
No, I need a spoon.
Right there. I'm rolling with an easy decision victory, Robert Whittaker. Honestly, he might even get him out of there in the second round.
Yeah, I don't see Du Plessis doing anything to Whittaker.
I don't see Du Plessis holding any threat to Whittaker in the slightest. Because Whittaker's striking is better. Their grappling is a little closer, but I would still say Whittaker has the better striking. I think no matter where this fight goes, Whittaker is
numbers.
Yeah, it's either even or Whittaker's ahead. There's no point in this matchup that Dricus Du Plessis has the advantage. So I'm gonna have to roll with a Whittaker decision or a Whittaker by finish. What are you rolling with?
I'm honestly going Whittaker by any way he wants to.
Not honest. Honestly, I don't see Du Plessis having anything for Whittaker.
I agree. I think Whittaker's just better all around.
And I think Whittaker is the biggest threat to Israel Adesanya now that Pereira is on. So I think that's a known fact. Time to let the steak sit. Oh yeah. I'm gonna cut this part out. Alright. Next matchup, the co-main event. Brandon Moreno, Alexandre Pantoja. Who are you going with and why? I want to hear you first because I don't think we're going to have different takes on this one.
So I feel like you're going with, what's his face?
Pantoja?
Yeah. I think you're going with him because he's beaten Moreno in the past. Now, I think Moreno's improved drastically since then and has all the tools necessary to get the job done.
All right, so you're rolling with Moreno.
I'm rolling with my boy Moreno.
How does he get it done?
I think he wins a unanimous decision. I don't see the fight being finished. I don't see him winning by submission, TKO, knockout. I see him winning a very decision. I would see him winning either a close decision or close through a decision.
Oh, okay. All right, now let me tell you who's really going to win this fight. Alexandre Pantoja. You want to say that, Moreno's gotten better since their last fight, which he has, without a doubt. You're not giving credit where credit is due, though. Pantoja has leveled up his game just as much, if not more, than Moreno has. He's been fine-tuning the skills he's good at, and he's been improving in the skills he's not as good at. I think all around, Pantoja's just a little bit better where it counts. And that's going to be why I'm taking Pantoja, probably first round submission.
First round submission.
But yes, I could see. I'm hoping Moreno wins. I love Moreno. But Pantoja is just so good. All right. But enough dilly-dallying. Let's go on to the main event of the evening. Yair Rodriguez, the interim champion, versus the reigning, defending featherweight champion, Alexander the Great.
Alexander the Great's winning. What's it called? Yair striking's one of the best. One of the best. But it doesn't beat Volkanovski, who's the number one pound-for-pound fighter. By far.
Yeah, I'm honestly going to have to pause real quick. Perfect. Look at that. Now I'm going to have to roll with Volkanovski decision because I think that Yair is going to pose a lot of problems for him in that striking. I think this is a much harder matchup for him than Islam is. Because Islam is such a one-dimensional fighter. You know what you're preparing for and you know what you're going to see. When you're fighting Yair Rodriguez, you don't know what you're going to see. And he has crazy jiu-jitsu. He has crazy striking. He has crazy everything. But I think this fight's sort of going to play out how Max Holloway versus Volkanovski 2 went. Where it's very back and forth in those first 2 rounds until Volk just takes over. I think he might put a beating on him the same way like Frankie Edgar did. So I'm gonna have to roll with Yair Rodriguez losing a unanimous decision to Volkanovski, either 48-47 or 48-9-46. So those are our picks for UFC 290. Now, let's just recap. We did it a little bit. Let's recap what happened last night. Well, Elijah, your boyfriend, he lost.
Yeah, I was very upset with the Bonfim loss. I like that guy a lot.
I think Bonfim is still an incredible fighter. It honestly looked like he had sort of an off night, though.
That happens. He'll bounce back.
Who do you want to see him fight next now?
I still want to see him fight Drew Dober. I think that's the fight to make.
I think the Drew Dober fight's a fantastic fight to make, too. And then Benoit Saint-Denis, I think he's ready for a top 15 guy. Maybe Renato Moicano. Maybe Matt Favola, one of those like 14, 15.
I can see him versus Matt Favola.
But yeah. Now, so that was like the biggest fight, in my opinion, on the main card. Other than
Sean Strickland.
Other than Sean Strickland, yeah. I don't know why I was blanking for a second. But
that's what happens when they put contenders in too soon with the top level fight.
Yeah, no, they tried pushing him way too soon against Sean Strickland, who's literally a title contender. They tried putting this guy who had one fight in the UFC against Dustin Stolfutz, who sucks, and with Sean Strickland. What did you think was going to happen? Like, if he didn't finish him in the first couple rounds, something would have been a little off. All right, hold on. Moment of truth here. I'll get you a new fork. Wow, that's a good cut. That came out good. Now, let's show the people, though.
There are 2 steaks. Both looking very nice.
Honestly, this might be one of the best steaks I've ever made.
This was just like a normal steak to me.
Yeah, shut your mouth. But, what's it called? Honestly, last night's fights were really good. That comeback fight from, what's his name? All right, I gotta pull up the card. That comeback that was, what's his name had? Oliveira's teammate. I'm blanking on his name again.
Oh, I don't know.
Elvis Brenner.
Yeah.
Versus Garam Katakaladas. Kalakanadas. That was a phenomenal fight. Deserved fight of the night for sure. Then as we look through the card, yeah. Joe Anderson Brito was the fun. Yeah, sure. was the funniest on mic moment I've seen in so long. He goes, Dan, and he throws up 2 middle fingers, and he's just screaming at Dan about Dan Ige. It was one of the funniest things I've seen in a while. But someone who really stood out to me on this card, Grant Dawson. The only people to ever do that to Damir Ismagulov is Arman Sarukian and Grant Dawson. That was insanity. He dominated him. It wasn't the most entertaining thing in the world, but he dominated from bell to post. It was crazy. Alrighty. We'll do the eggs in a second.
Oh.
Let's end this video with a nice little taste test.
Taste test. Ah, my language.
Alright.
So I give you a piece of mine, you give me a piece of yours.
Well, we have to try a piece of our own first.
Alright, I need a fork.
I'll be behind you. So you cut the fat off of yours?
Most of the time.
Alright, so let's try mine first. So that's your piece, this is my piece. We gotta show the camera the pieces first. Make sure you get all those juices up in there.
Good.
Good cut right there. Cheers.
Cheers. Not bad at all.
That's really good.
I'm real good.
What would you rate on a scale of 1 to 10?
I give that an 8. You know what? No. I give that 8.5.
Oh yeah. That's definitely like an 8, 8.5.
Yeah. No, for sure. Alright.
Is that my piece?
That's your piece.
Hold on, I gotta finish chewing.
Alright, now you got your flavors out. I'll leave my flavors out. I made my steak with an onion, so
Alright.
I have it with an onion.
That's Elijah's piece. Let me get a little onion on there.
A little onion down there, because I made it with it.
That's fine. And cheers.
Cheers. That's a good steak.
That was a good steak. Honestly,
Good steak.
in my opinion, I like mine a little bit better.
It's crazy because I was thinking that exact same thing, but for the opposite.
So, I don't know. I think we might have to rule this one a tie.
I would agree. I'm actually pleasantly surprised with your steak, but my steak just turned out fantastic.
I think that was a good. I think that's a draw. We're gonna have to rule this one a
I
draw.
call that one a draw for sure.
Now, next time we're gonna have to get like a third person in here, like Luigi, and have him try it. Yeah. Well, anyway, thank you guys for sticking with us through this whole thing. I'm sure the audio's probably not gonna be the best, but
Yeah, that's probably pretty good.
yeah, but stick with it. Whatever. Enjoy the video. Thank you all for staying along. Now, for those of you who stayed till the very end, you're probably wondering what I'm wearing. We got the SmokeMMA t-shirts. This is one of 4 t-shirts that I have. And now we also have a crew neck and a hoodie. They will all be for sale, hopefully by the launch of this video. If not, I'll post at the end of the video the day that it'll be up. So go ahead to SmokeMMA.com and get your merch today. It's fucking amazing. The quality is nice. Elijah, what do you think of the quality?
Oh, it fits nice. It's good. Like, it's comfortable. I got the hoodie, and one of the softest hoodies I've ever worn.
What do you think of the design?
The design. Now, I like some of the designs that haven't come out yet, so you're gonna need to stay tuned.
No, they're all going to be out right when this website releases.
Oh, the Smoke University one. That's a nice design. I'm gonna wear that all around campus. I'm gonna wear that everywhere. It's a nice sweater, man.
We got the Smoke University, the Smoke Boxing Club, the Smoke Definitions tees, which is what I'm wearing, with dedication and courage on the shoulders. And it's just, they're so comfortable. They're so sleek. They're the best designs you'll probably see from like a creator. So make sure that you get yours today. SmokeMMA.com. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out.